Visiting Boston College and the hometown Clemson Tigers. Another packed house full of orange and purple to watch the defending national champions rub Howard's Rock and try to remain undefeated. Along with Chris Button and Kelly Stauffer, I'm Dave Lamont. Kelly, there is the disease of me, as Pat Riley once called it, kind of an attitude of you get a little spoiled after success and winning. That does not appear to be a problem here at Clemson.
It really doesn't, and it really starts with Dabo Swinney. He told us yesterday in meetings that as the head guy, you can control the climate. You can turn the heat up when you want. You can turn it down when you want. And I think he's regulated this program perfectly. Brent Venables still plays lights-out defense, and they seem to churn out quarterbacks like nobody's business. Taj Boyd was gone, and Deshaun Watson comes in and has 3 of the best years ever. And now you have Kelly Bryant that seems to be taking up exactly where Deshaun Watson left off.
Boston College won the toss and elected to receive. They're in the road whites, of course. The Tigers plain and simple today with the orange and white uniforms. Fans get here early in the very top rows. They were here 90 minutes, 2 hours before kick of a stadium that seats 81,500, and every seat is taken. And we'll begin with a touchback in BC at the 25-yard line. So we would like to welcome everybody here to Memorial Stadium, or one of 2 Death Valleys in action today. The other one, of course, being our friends in Baton Rouge. And Boston College will have the first possession behind the quarterback Anthony Brown, the redshirt freshman from Cliffwood, New Jersey, who defeated Darius Wade in a spring and summer-long battle for the starting job. The BC has struggled at times offensively. They'll begin on the ground with John Hilliman, and Hilliman will pick up a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 coming up.
Dave, I think the key early is for Anthony Brown to kind of get his feet on the ground. This is one of the top 5 places to play in college football, but you have to deal with the noise. They're going to have to do it early in this one.
They'll try to run to the left side this time, and another couple of yards there for Hilliman before he is forced out of bounds. So you're looking at 3rd down. Trayvon Mullen out of Fort Lauderdale on the stop. You're going to need about 5.
And this is where you have to be careful, especially early in this one with a young quarterback and a really young center dealing with the noise. Brent Venables attacks 1st and 2nd down and gets you into 3rd and a passing down, and then really lights up your quarterback.
Now, looks like we're going to have an offsides here. That pass incomplete. Let's be sure, though. Maybe the left end for Clemson was drawn off.
I think Austin Bryant got a big head start.
Offside. Defense number 7. Unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
David, good early sign, though, using really, it can't be a hard count because you can't hear any count if you're Boston College offensively. I think it's Austin Bryant getting a little too eager and going with more of an extended or long count, and it worked there.
So the penalty gives the Eagles a 1st down. This will be a short gain here for A.J. Dillon, a freshman from New London, Connecticut. So 2nd down and 8 coming up. We need to mention that Boston College is a bit battered. On Thursday, they lost receiver Charlie Canelan, who's out indefinitely with a broken foot, suffered in practice. They are using a freshman at center who's only played, this is his 3rd start as a center ever. On the rollout, pass complete, 40, 45. Hilliman going to make it just shy of midfield. They say he's out of bounds at the 47. That is a 10-yard pickup.
And true freshman Ben Petrula is starting at center. John Baker, their bell cow up front, got hurt in the Northern Illinois game, so they have a young battery in this one.
And that's just the offensive side of the ball. Wait till we get to the other side where there's some problems also for the Eagles. Another 2-yard gain, almost 3 to midfield for John Hilliman, the junior running back, who has 6 100-yard games in his career, and Jabril Robinson in there on the stop.
So Dave, what you're going to see is what offensive coordinator Scott Loeffler calls a power spread, and they like to go tempo with it as they are right now.
Play action. Brown on the run. Pass is caught. Virtually no gain there for Tommy Sweeney, the tight end. He's a good one, too. That's his 4th catch on the year, but Clemson was all over that as Kendall Joseph made the stop.
So you're going to get Boston College that still wants to have a gap or power run game up front. They want to control it that way, play action, move the pocket, but also play action to try to get shots down the field against this Clemson defense.
Screen set up here in a lot of traffic. I'm amazed that pass was completed. That'll be no gain on that play either. And once again, Joseph on the stop. Cleveland Farrell came in, number 99, to put pressure on. This front four for the Tigers is something.
All of those guys, the front line is probably, people have them destined to be first-round picks, but well coached also. Brent Venables, one of the best in the business. 2 guys were pressuring the quarterback. 4 guys had sniffed out the screen. That's really good defense.
Hunter Renfrow stands at the 10-yard line. Good punt here from Mike Knoll. Is it too good, though? Is he going to go to the end zone? No, it's going to hook right and go out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That's the 14th punt of the season already for Knoll. That's gone inside the 20, 47 yards. A brilliant stroke from the senior punter. So here comes Kelly Bryant, who's now taken over for Deshaun Watson, who's gone on to the NFL after having one of the finest careers in the history of the game. Never mind here in Death Valley. And Bryant, the junior, he is a native of this area, Calhoun Falls. And he really had his big coming out game last Saturday night in Louisville. Tavian Feaster is the tailback. He's earned the start over C.J. Fuller for this one. And Feaster, with an offensive line surging, will pick up a solid 6 to begin things. 2nd down and 4 coming up.
And everyone has heard of Deshaun Watson. A great 3-year run here. One of the best in college football history, let alone the best here at Clemson. Kelly Bryant comes in, and he's learned a ton from Deshaun Watson, but he's been kind of a late bloomer in the sense that he played in 2 systems in high school, one pass heavy, one run heavy, but he learned how to prepare for this moment from Deshaun Watson.
Out of the empty set, quick throw. Renfrow with a catch, but he is right at the mark. Ty Schwab out of the weak side linebacker position making a stop for the Eagles.
And Kelly Bryant is a smart man because he knows that number 13, Hunter Renfrow, is the chain mover. If we have a chance to pick up a first down, we want to throw it to number 13. And you can see right there, 31 out of 57 completions to that guy when we have to move the chains and get another roll of the dice.
Well, you know what just happened there? They moved the chains.
Exactly.
Only this time it was on second down.
It was on second down.
Yep.
Those don't even count.
The referee jumped in there, and after the ball was spotted, and recognized that it is a first down to the 13-yard line. That'll be a carry outside the 15 to about the 19-yard line. Max Richardson, the sophomore middle linebacker, whom they really like on this BC defense, in there on the stop. The man of the hour, the man who now I don't think has picked up a check anywhere in this part of South Carolina, is Hunter Renfrow, who had the game-winning catch in that exciting national title game earlier this year. He'll get it again. And breaking some tackles, and Renfrow shakes free to the 40. And he's going to be dragged out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Hunter Renfrow with his second impactful grab already.
And you're going to see Kelly Bryant now go mock speed, and Renfrow is the slot guy, so you want to play over the top of the receivers for Clemson. 13's going to get a ton of catches here today.
That was a 25-yard pickup out in space, and this play is destroyed by the BC defense. The catch was made by Ray McLeod, but Isaac Yiadom just squashed that play for a loss of 3.
And that was well defended. Renfrow was supposed to be the lead block on that, but didn't get out there in time.
2nd down, 13. Back to the ground, and they'll get those 3 yards back. Now Kelly Bryant is a very good runner, so this zone read is very much a part of this Tigers attack, co-coordinated by Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott.
And Kelly Bryant, as we've already said, Hunter Renfrow is going to be the guy probably on this play as well. If you need to move the chains, look for number 13. But you're right, and Kelly Bryant is a tackle runner. He can run in the tackle box really, really well. The quarterback zone read is one thing, and that's more of what Deshaun Watson ran, but the power run game with the quarterback, the design quarterback runs are on the table with the big 6'4", 220-pound quarterback.
Little pressure coming in here. Going to go for it all right here, looking for Kane. And he's well covered by the Eagles defense that time. Dean Kane, Lucas Dennis, the safety, number 21 in there on the coverage. And he had some help over there. So Clemson, after a couple of first downs, will set up in punt formation.
And Dave, you said it. It was bracketed in and out on Deon Kane, who is that boundary speed guy. Mike Williams' position from the last couple of seasons, and you want to get a vertical, you typically look for number 8, but very well covered on the back end by BC right there.
Spires the punter. Walker back deep. This is a rocket. Walker's just going to run away from it, and it will roll into the end zone for a touchback, and BC's second possession will begin at their own 20-yard line. Incredible atmosphere in Clemson, South Carolina. If you haven't been, you got to find some time, if you're a college football fan, to visit this part of the country. Food's not bad either.
$81,500 examples in front of our eyes.
Straight drop back throw over the middle, bouncing off a solid hit into Clemson territory. That is the tight end, Tommy Sweeney, with his second grab already. He absorbed a hit and just kept going before Trayvon Mullen chased him down. A 37-yard pickup to the Tigers' 43. Now to the ground, and A.J. Dillon running to his left side. And Dillon chased out of bounds. Mullen with yet another tackle.
So Dave, we see the tempo with the running game as well. It's a power pro spread that Scott Loeffler likes to run, but he talked to getting touches to their tight end Tommy Sweeney. We've already seen him targeted twice early in this game.
Nothing going on there, so it's going to be 3rd down and 5. In his 5th season at Boston College is Steve Adazio. 7-6 last year with a bowl victory at the quick lane over Maryland. But he's got it tough at the moment with the injuries. 3 tri-captains are out for this game and maybe out for the whole season, as that it's going to be incomplete. The first miss of the day for Anthony Brown. Now, Kelly at 4th down and 5.5, 6. Field position not tempting enough to go for it.
Field position is your friend when you come into Death Valley, and you're kind of points challenged on the offensive side of the ball. They've ended up 3rd and 5 both of their drives, and that's a pass down. Brent Venables is going to light you up. He's going to give you some exotic looks. You have a young center and a young quarterback. The bottom line is BC offensively has to stay out of those type of passing downs. Mike
Knoll's last punt went 47 yards and landed at the 3. He took a little something off of that. A lot of spin on this kick. But this time it's overspin, and it'll be a touchback, and the Tigers will take over at the 20-yard line. All right, we mentioned, Kelly, the injuries for Boston College, and it's really brutal luck that every one of these players is a captain. The center, John Baker, the wide receiver, Charlie Callanan, we mentioned, was injured Thursday. And, of course, Connor Strahan, a great linebacker. They were hoping to have him available this season, and it may not happen.
Yeah, and I think Strahan was actually 4th in the captain ballot, and I think Cam Moore is the 3rd captain. But those guys are all productive guys. They're veteran leaders of this team that this team is sorely missing currently.
Davian Feaster is the tailback and gets the pitch, and he is forced back inside. And that BC front, we talked quite a bit about the Clemson front, but you've got Ray Smith, number 96, and the great Harold Landry, number 7, a pro prospect for sure, in the top 10, as a matter of fact, in some mock drafts already.
Yeah, and Todd McShay's latest big board, he's number 8, but he's the first rush outside linebacker off the board, and he is a very, very good player.
He is listed as a defensive end, plays that position here. Now, this time Bryant will keep. And tried to bounce it outside, but BC was waiting for him. However, that's a good gain. Sets up 3rd down and a couple. Now, Harold Landry had 16.5 sacks last year. He's got 1 already this year, 22 for his career.
And his first step alone will make him millions of dollars, quite frankly. and he gets low to the ground. He runs the rail, gets to the quarterback, and is learning to anchor against the run quite a bit better than he did early in his career.
And once again, they try to go out wide, and Hunter Renfrow won't get his first down with a third down catch. You mentioned Cameron Moore, co-captain. He was there on the hit. That's 2 times now we've seen that long throw, and both times BC has been ready for it.
And it's really a bubble screen. You have a wide receiver blocking outside, and Cam Moore is out there and has that receiver, if he is to run a route, man-to-man. So when you see the bubble screen, you have to fight through it, maintain leverage. In this case, Cam Moore just pushes that receiver right back to Renfrow and essentially tackles them both.
So again, Michael Walker awaiting the Spires punt. A little bit of a high snap, but no pressure. Spires hammers another one with a sideways wobble to, but Walker's got a little room to work here. He's gained 10 yards on this return. He'll get about 17 or 18 on the return. That is out kicking your coverage that time by the redshirt freshman kicker. Tonight on ABC, it's a Big Ten battle between a couple of undefeated teams. Trace McSorley, Saquon Barkley, and number 4 Penn State take on the Hawkeyes at Kinnick Stadium. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Also, of course, streaming live on the ESPN app, where some of you all may be watching our game.
I like Saquon Barkley against that linebacker core for Iowa. Maybe the best in the country. And they like to keep those 3 linebackers out on the field a lot. Those guys are going to butt heads with Barkley tonight.
And Iowa at night.
It's a tough place.
Yeah, man. Upsets have happened there before. They run jet sweep here with Thad Smith. This is a favorite play of theirs. Thad Smith's average about 7.5 per carry on that, and he's going to get 7 on this one. Fans here thought the BC line moved a little early. John Hilleman, the junior back, will get it to midfield and get another first down for Boston College.
That's a great couple of plays right there. Jet sweep to the outside, and then Hilleman grinds it out for a first down up the middle.
Trouble here for Brown, and he is going to be sacked. Austin Bryant, the junior, out of Georgia with a sack. All right, thank you, sir, very much. We'd like to welcome all of you now, those of you who enjoyed the Texas Tech-Houston game. You just missed an Austin Bryant sack on quarterback Anthony Brown, putting Boston College in an uncomfortable 2nd down and 16. Clemson has been slow to get going offensively. In fact, BC with 4 first downs to 2 for the defending national champs. I'm Dave Lamont with Kelly Stauffer. And on the field, Chris Button, another big stop for the Tigers defense. And again, Austin Bryant, number 7 in there, taking down Hilleman. It'll be 3rd and very long.
This is the 3rd drive for BC offensively. The first 2 ended up in 3rd and 5 passing downs, and Clemson lit up the young quarterback Anthony Brown, and they were forced to punt. Here we are again. Picked up a first down on a couple of really nice drives. A jet sweep out wide, a power run game in the middle, but they gave up the sack on 2nd down, and then they're chasing the chains right here. This is troublesome for BC.
They're going to play conservatively with Travis Levy, the young running back. He'll get nothing, and it'll be 4th down and 17 for Boston College.
3rd and 16. You don't want to drop back a redshirt freshman quarterback in Death Valley and try to pick up a first down. That's not good.
No, that's just his 4th start of the season that he is after defeating Darius Wade, the left-handed quarterback, in a battle all summer long.
Yeah, good call early by Scott Loeffler. Run a draw. If you bust it, great. If not, you still try to keep field position.
Ray McLeod back deep for this punt, and this is crushed by Knoll. McLeod's going to watch it hit, and for the 2nd time in his 3 punts, Knoll has crafted a masterpiece.
Knoll is one early MVP, right?
Inside the 10, Kelly. That's 2 inside the 10 today. And bad field position for Kelly Bryant, the junior. Will take him out when we return. ESPN here from Memorial Stadium at Clemson. Frank Howard Field 0-0, the defending national champions against Boston College in this ACC matchup. And Kelly Bryant, Kelly Stauffer, has got some tough field position, but he also had to follow in the footsteps of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, the greatest in the history of this program, but there's so many similarities. He has a big arm. He's a natural runner between the tackles. He's bigger than Deshaun Watson. And right now, I really like how this young man thinks through the game as a true junior.
C.J. Fuller, the tailback. He'll be working in with Tavian Feaster. Average start for the Tigers so far is their own 11-yard line following Knowles' brilliant punting. They fake the jet sweep back deep. Bryant scramble. He's got some room on his right if he wants to take off, and he'll do just that. And he will get to the marker and out to about the 20-yard line. Should be a first down for Kelly Bryant. And again, Kelly Stauffer, let's compare.
Well, everyone is, so let's just join him. And Kelly Bryant is bigger, natural runner inside the tackle box in particular. The arm talent goes to Deshaun Watson for now, and the intangibles also goes to Deshaun Watson, learning how to prepare to win games. And we have to tap the brakes. One guy has played 3 games. The other guy played 3 magnificent seasons.
And they'll go short out of the backfield here. Catch made by Mylan Richard, the redshirt junior out of Savannah, the tight end.
And I like, Dave, how we heard stories about Deshaun Watson really came ready-made to play the quarterback position at Clemson. And you could see that from the beginning. I was in here extensively his freshman year, and he was absolutely lights out. But he's taught Kelly Bryant how to prepare to be a national championship quarterback, and it looks pretty good so far.
Couple of steps back, under pressure. He got hit as he threw that. That's a lob, and it's intercepted in midfield. Boston College with a huge break here. Inside the 30-yard line. That was an easy catch to be made. Yidam with his first interception of the year, and Bryant got hit as he threw a 21-yard. And
these are the things.
It was Harold Landry, Kelly, that set up the whole thing.
And we talked about Harold Landry earlier, and he's the disruptor. He comes off the edge, gets a hand on Bryant, the ball goes up in the air, and it's picked off. And those are the things that give BC hope early. But this has been the challenge for BC offensively, being able to score when you have scoring opportunities. They've been dreadful so far this year.
They had not put together a rushing touchdown as A.J. Dillon tried the left side of the Clemson defense with 0 success. 2nd down and 10 for a team that wants to run what they've dubbed the power spread. The inability to get the ball in the end zone on the ground has been a problem.
Yeah, how do you close out drives? And that's what BC's asking themselves right now.
They'll try it on the ground again, and very little. Once again, boy, the 2 number 7s in this game, Landry for Boston College and Bryant for the Tigers, have been incredibly disruptive. How about Landry on the play? Was blocked by a man 50 pounds heavier, and it didn't matter.
It's all about speed. He kind of looks like a cheetah coming off the edge, and he's a lot like Clemson's Vic Beasley that plays in the NFL currently. He's hard off the edge, and he just disrupts the quarterback a ton.
Going to run the right-handed quarterback to the left side this time. He sets his feet. Dangerous throw, and it is almost intercepted. That time, number 11, Isaiah Simmons, almost had the pick, and that makes Boston College 0 for 4 on 3rd down.
And maybe should have had this pick. Isaiah Simmons is a redshirt freshman getting a lot of playing time because Tanner Muse has been banged up a little bit, thrown out of the first half last week for targeting. But rolling the right-handed quarterback to the left is a difficult task against this Clemson defense.
Colton Lichtenberg is 6 for 6 in field goals this year. 6 for 7 now. So the interception did not come back to haunt Clemson, and BC needed that if they're going to get the upset.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Infiniti, Empower the Drive, and Allstate, official protector of college football fans.
Right when you walk into the new facility here that's about 18 months old, that's the first thing you'll see pretty much is the national championship trophy won by the Tigers. A thriller over Alabama. A lot of people think we're going to have another Clemson-Alabama title game, the way these teams have started this year. Adam Choice goes straight ahead for gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 coming up. Might be the final play of the first quarter.
Dabo Sweeney told us an interesting story about that trophy. They didn't know what to put in the lobby until about 30 seconds after winning the national championship last year. And guess what's in the lobby?
Now they're going to snap it before the clock runs out. Bryant in some trouble being chased by Landry, and he gets away. Bryant now peeling, getting some blocks to the 30, and he got stood up and taken down hard and cleanly by Max Richardson to the 31-yard line. A very exciting way to end the first quarter, and out of all of that, Kelly Bryant managed a 2-yard gain to what could have been about a 9-yard loss. Boston College hanging tough on the road against the defending national champs. Now, they didn't score any points in that win over Auburn either. That was a low-scoring victory, 14-6. But here they've been held 73 yards in the opening quarter by this BC defense that was gashed by Notre Dame at times last week. Bryant under pressure and escaped one more time. Under more pressure, and he will wisely throw it away. You know, Kelly, we mentioned getting Notre Dame had over 600 yards in that win at Alumni Stadium. And with Jim Reed, a prideful defensive coordinator, I just can't imagine what the week was like around the Heights.
Well, I think it was embarrassing for this defense because outside of 7 plays, you turn midway through the third quarter against Notre Dame, and this defense is playing lights out when their fellow offense isn't doing much of anything. And I think that last quarter and a half embarrassed them. 7 plays for, 329 yards is unheard of. I think they've been embarrassed, and they're coming out playing like it today.
High but short on the punt, and a cautious fair catch made by Walker at around the 35-yard line. Well, there's one thing for sure here. Clemson, number 2 in the country, 3-0. It looks to be business as usual, and for more on that, here's Chris.
Well, we were wondering how they would respond after Clemson came off of that huge win over Louisville last week. Dabo Sweeney told me yesterday that he teaches his team what he calls a windshield mentality, that you don't look out the window, you don't look back in the rearview mirror, you look in front of you. And practice is the same every week, no matter if you're playing the number 1 or the number 100 team, that it's about consistency.
Brown in some trouble here, throws back, tough play, incomplete at the 44-yard line. Trying to get it again to his tight end, Tommy Sweeney.
And Chris, I think more than looking back, I think right now Clemson's offense is running into a motivated BC defense that has a really good defensive culture established at BC under Steve Adazio, and they're lighting it up. Both of these defenses right now are owning the day.
0 for 7 combined third downs in this game, and we're going to get a first down here for Boston College with a 48-yard line on John Hillman's run.
Run the ball with tempo, and it's a power run too. It's not a spread run.
We have whistles.
Niles Pinckney, number Niles Pinckney, number 44, the defensive tackle for Clemson, was injured and hobbling off the sideline, and the head linesman on this side called that timeout. So that's why that play was stopped.
Yeah, the side judge actually threw a flag, or one of the officials threw a flag for delay of game over offsides or for 12th man. Take your pick, but they realized they picked the flag up when it was an official's timeout. Straight ahead again, and more power running for Boston College, and this time a 4-yard pickup gets them into Tigers territory at the 47. This isn't very subtle right now what they're doing.
And it's interesting to see a power run game, 2 running backs, and it's up tempo. That's unique, but it's not new to Scott Loeffler. He's done it in his past.
Now Dillon gets the carry, and he'll get hit hard at the 35-yard line, taken down there. One thing, 2 guys we haven't talked about, one of them in there on the tackle, number 90, Dexter Lawrence, had a piece of that tackle. He and Christian Wilkins, you can argue, as tough a pair of defensive tackles as you'll find anywhere in the country.
Yeah, future first-round picks. There isn't any doubt about it. But here we are again. It's third and more of a mix down, so potentially BC could run the football right here.
Clemson bringing a little bit of heat. Brown pumps once, now throws toward the sideline and just missed his intended receiver, Jeff Smith, who was well covered by Dorian O'Daniel, a linebacker who stayed with him. So now Boston College is 0 for 5 on third down, and Clemson is 0 for 3.
And that was Boston College's best chance on third down. 3rd and 3 is a mix down where you could potentially run it to pick it up, and they had a slant and a wheel route outside on that, and both of them were very well covered by Clemson defensively.
So no with a punt. This is a line drive, and it's going to check up again. This is his second punt in between the 5 and the 10. He stuck one inside the 5 earlier, and once again Clemson has poor field position. College of the defending national champion Clemson. Right now, let's take a look at today's defensive spotlight, brought to you by Presto.
Well, it's all about Harold Landry, number 7. He is absolutely a dipper and a ripper. His first step is as good as it gets in this game, and Tony Elliott called him Gumby because of his ability to get so low and get after the quarterback.
This is Tavian Feaster. He will carry off the right side of the Clemson line for 11 and a first down. And understandably, Harold Landry on all of those lists, and he's also very high in mock drafts. He thought about leaving a year ago. Didn't like the draft status he was hearing about, so he decided to come back and work even harder. Bryant will keep. Breaks one tackle. Stutter step. And Boston College reacting very well to that. Open field tackle at 20-yard line by Lucas Dennis.
And that's how you have to handle Harold Landry right there. You run a quarterback zone read right at him, and you try to nullify him. If he jumps on the running back, Kelly Bryant's going to keep it. That time he peeked inside a little bit, so Kelly Bryant took it outside, but there was great reaction from the second level.
This time they throw away, and a catch is made by Deon Kane. Just a little bit short of the first down marker. For more on Landry, let's check in with Chris Button.
You guys were talking about why he came back for another year, and he wanted to work on some personal things, including his reaction time and playing multiple gaps. But he also had his son this past June, and he's now realized that for him, football is no longer a game, that if he works harder, it improves his draft stock, which also allows him to provide for his family.
Yeah, the quote from him, thank you, Chris, was, "I feel like I'm in the NFL now." And we have our first third down conversion for either team this afternoon. Feaster to the 30-yard line.
And don't be put off, the fans listening out there, by Harold Bryant taking that business approach. That's reality. That's called real life. If I have a chance to make a living and really generational changing money, you have to approach it like a business, exactly what it is here at the college football level as well. His business has already opened up, and his body is his greatest asset.
A marker down.
Start, number 50. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the first penalty flag we have even seen today. One was picked up when we realized we had an injured player, but this is the first one that's had any impact on the game. So a very cleanly played game in front of Bradley Johnson's officiating crew so far. Run all the way, gets a good block from Feaster. Ball flies out, and now picked up and rumbling Taylor Hearn, and the big guy has a first down. Lucas Dennis punched the ball out, and the redshirt junior Taylor Hearn, how about it?
Well, Taylor Hearn had a lot to do with why Bryant got to where he did, but then the heads up. What a dream for a 330-pound left guard. But he was downfield working for his quarterback. That's why he was in a position to grab that fumble and pick up a few yards.
Now, number 9, Travis Etienne is in. They fake it to him. Again, they go with this play that has been wiped out by BC so far every time. Ray McLeod gets virtually nothing. Kevin Bletzer, number 49, wrecked the play by taking out the blocker. Kelly, that's 3 times we've seen that play and 3 times the exact same result.
And that's the strategy. Some people call it killing the lead duck. And when that lead blocker is out there, you blow him up, and it blows the play up. And BC's done that 3 straight times.
Now Etienne, look at the speed that this guy gets the ball. Yeah. The second he gets it, and the comparison I make is we're starting to see more of Tyreek Hill in the NFL with Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. Instantly fast, and this is exactly what Etienne looks like.
Yeah, it's sudden with Travis Etienne, and the thing that he has to learn is the discipline to stick to the point of attack, and his numbers off the chart in high school, but stick to the point of attack, and the big plays, because of your immense speed, kind of happen automatically.
So he wasn't supposed to go for 81 yards against Louisville?
That was an A-gap play, and they made him know about that. Good result that time.
And ad-libbing his way through, Kelly Bryant carrying a tackler into Boston College territory at the 40-yard line.
Dave, that's where you see the difference in size between Kelly Bryant and Deshaun Watson. Kelly Bryant is a legit 6'4", 220-plus pounds. And so when he starts running, he's like a slightly undersized tight end that you have to try to get to the ground.
Pitch here, Etienne, 35. Now, in talking with Tony Elliott as Etienne with a solid gain there of 8, he said, and we asked him about it, he says, you know, I might not be a very good coach, but I got to get this guy on the field more. There's a hashtag around this area called #FreeTravis.
I think they're in the process of opening up the gate as we speak.
Now Tavian Feaster is a pretty good running back himself, is back in at that spot, gets the carry and gets through an arm tackle. And they will continue to move the chains. The Tigers looking as sharp, the sharpest, I should say, they have looked on offense so far today. Zach Allen on the stop.
Well, and Dave, remember that Clemson lost Wayne Gollum, and they don't really have the total package in one guy. And so that's why you see 3, even 4 guys in a game trying to get that collective skill set in the backfield.
Yeah, they have used 4 running backs today. This is going to be Bryant, who's a running back on this play, and Bryant very close, and he has the first down to the 15-yard line as Will Harris in there on the stop along with Lucas Dennis.
Design quarterback run. We saw a ton of this in Deshaun Watson's sophomore year when he rushed for over 1,000 yards, threw for over 3,000. It was the design quarterback runs. That time it was the lead. Lead with the running back, get your 220-pound quarterback in behind him.
On the 12th play of the drive, it's going to be Feaster again. And these are not fancy plays by any means to the 11-yard line. They're running behind the offensive line of Hyatt, Hearn, Falcinelli, Crowder, and Ankrum.
And the adjustment, Dave, on this drive has been not only stick to the run game, but it's been a more diverse run game, and especially get more speed on the field with Travis Etienne in particular.
2nd and 5. Feaster stays into the tailback. Again, following Feaster, look at this. He'll waltz in. Touchdown for Kelly Bryant. 11 yards.
This is just a quarterback lead draw. We talked about the diversity in the run game. Feaster is going to lead, and then the quarterback sets for pass and then just follows his running back initially and then charts his own course. That's where you see the natural running ability of Kelly Bryant.
On to attempt the PAT is Clemson's new kicker, Alex Spence, replacing Greg Hugel, who was lost for the season with a torn ACL and a practice injury on Wednesday. And Spence, who's been here before, lost the job to Hugel, is able to tack the final point on a 13-play, 94-yard drive in 5:56. Kelly Bryant with his 6th rushing touchdown of the season.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the Lexus IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. Experience amazing.
Let's take a look inside this $55 million Allen N. Reeves football facility. Not bad for just firing out of the box on a warm-up. My little swing there at the golf simulator.
Now, hold on a second. That was your driver that went about $110.
By the way, who beat us in Papa Shot? You and I?
I wasn't involved in that competition. It was producer Steve Righteous and yourself.
Don't hang out the management.
I was taking on the... That is beautiful as well.
That's a wiffle ball field. Plus they have the miniature golf, sand volleyball. I have a horseshoe pit. have a couple of bowling lanes, nap pods, 3-yard line kickoff. This is Michael Walker, and Walker making a nice run out of this all the way out to the 35-yard line. 33-yard return for Walker. Boston College has had great field position, but no results to the moment. Week 3 NFL Sunday with us at ESPN. It's a new team at a new time. It's a golden retriever going there for a swim. Sunday NFL Countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern with Samantha Ponder and the crew to get you up to speed on all the early breaking stories and injury updates, and preview each game right up to kickoff, and of course streaming live on the ESPN app. Beautiful Lake Hartwell there as we come back to live action. It'll be 2nd down and 10 on the rollout, and very, very well defended that time by Jalen Williams, the linebacker, number 30.
Dave, early in this game, it's been a matter of field position. Clemson's average field position was on their own 13. They hadn't done anything until that last 13-play, 94-yard scoring march. BC's yet to do much of anything.
A.J. Dillon's going to do something here. He'll get to the 40, fighting through tacklers. He is a sturdy back, and he's down at the 44-yard line. Let's get in a word with Chris Cotter. On 3rd and very short, right at the 45-yard line goes Dillon, attracting quite a crowd. J.D. Davis among them, number 33 for the Tigers. Will they finally move the chains on 3rd down?
I think they do by about a half a yard, and that's how they have to do it, Dave, quite frankly. Stay out of 3rd and passing on 3rd down and get into that 3rd where you can run it if you want, and they did right there to move the sticks.
They are now 1 out of 6 on 3rd downs, and we're approaching the 6-minute mark in our 2nd quarter in a quickly paced first half. Under pressure from Lawrence. Brown being chased by Bryant as well, and I just threw it over the head of a receiver to avoid the sack. There is the energetic Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator here in his 6th season, a real fixture on the sidelines.
And simply one of the best in the business, and he has his own personal handler to keep him out of trouble on the sideline, and that handler has to get worn out trying to keep that guy in check.
That is a full-time opportunity. Boston College playing the style of football you expect from Boston College. Powerful run game. Davis in there on the stop again, but a healthy gain of 8 for A.J. Dillon, who decommitted from Michigan in order to go to Boston College.
And he's 240 himself, and then you get behind this massive BC offensive line, and that's the push that you're starting to get right now with 2 tight ends in there and only 1 running back.
They fake the jet sweep. Brown steps in, throws down the middle, and it's broken up. Incomplete. Tanner Muse, number 19, busted that play up.
And recognized really well by Tanner Muse, and actually the entire secondary. Tommy Sweeney is the target guy, especially in that play-action pass game. And you saw Sweeney sitting over in the middle of the field, and Muse just gets a hand on the football.
No sign of Mike Knoll and the punt team. It's 4th down and 2.
Hard count right here.
Can you hear it? We got timeout here. Boston College. Steve Adazio wants to talk this over to make sure this is a decision he is comfortable with. 5:25 to go. Are they really going to go for it? We'll find out when we return. We await this decision from Boston College to kick or to go for it. And you see BC defensively has been tough. Kelly Bryant, 99 total yards and a touchdown run. Anthony Brown has struggled a bit against this Tigers defense. 4 out of 11 for 47 yards. And the decision is to bring out the punt team and Mike Knoll.
Well, and Mike Knoll is your MVP of this game so far if you're BC. And it's a field position game. And so BC has to keep playing that early. I think if you went for it here and didn't get it, this could snowball out of control very quickly against Clemson.
Knoll has had 3 punts inside the 10 land out of 4. Number 5 is inside the 10. Fair catch. Unbelievable punting from Mike Knoll. Let's get down to the field and talk to Boston College Athletic Director Martin Jarman with Chris Budden.
Thanks so much, Martin Jarman, the youngest athletic director in a Power 5 conference, who was doing a little coaching here on the sidelines. Before we get to you, talk to me about the game. What do you thought about your defense so far?
Oh, they're playing great right now. You know, both teams are fighting hard. Our guys came, and, you know, it's right there. We're right there, and that's what you want to do, hang around.
I mentioned you're the youngest at 35, but you've been at some big-time places, most recently Ohio State, also Michigan State. What did you learn there that you can take to Boston College?
Yeah, investment in your athletics, you know, facilities, resources. You know, you have to invest in leadership, culture, make sure everything is going that way. So we're doing that at BC. We've got a lot of momentum right now with our facilities, indoor facility, baseball, softball. So we got some things going.
As you talk about facilities, you look around here. What can you take from a tour down here in Clemson, from the facilities, from the winning tradition that can apply up north?
Yeah, you know, Clemson has done a great job. We went through their football facility, and that was like, wow, you know. But yeah, you know, they're investing in athletics, and that's what their donors and their fans have stepped up, and ours are doing that now, and we're going to keep going. So
I appreciate the time. Enjoy the game.
All right.
Guys.
Chris and Martin, thank you very much. We're looking at 3rd down and 8 after a couple of run plays. Did not do very much for the Tigers. One by Feaster, one by Kelly Bryant, who only got to the 10. So 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, Ty Schaub, the outside linebacker on play 1, did a great job of stoning the power play and making the tackle. And that time it was free safety Lucas Dennis that comes up and runs support. So this is the down and distance where BC has to make a living. They have to get off the field in 3rd and 8.
So you look for number 13, Hunter Renfro here. Bryant in the pocket, pumps, going to take off. He'll have a first down, and he'll get to the 24-yard line. Big first down for Clemson. Let's check in the studio and Chris Cotter. All right, Chris, we will look forward to hearing from you and Coach and from Jonathan. Lucas Dennis with another tackle, cutting down the tight end Richard. 2nd down and 5 coming up. To the 32-yard line. It'll be a couple of yards to go on 3rd down. Got item on the stop. Now we have a timeout for a Boston College player who is shaken up on the field at the 30-yard line, and that is Max Richardson.
Remember, Max Richardson is playing the middle linebacker position. Connor Strahan is already out, and this would be devastating for this BC defense.
The ESPN app is the fan's best friend. Stream every ESPN and ABC college football game live at home or on the go. You'll get access to scores, news, and highlights all season long. Download the ESPN app and start streaming now. You can be like Kelly in the passenger seat of the car on the way over and watch Florida State, NC State at the beginning of that game. You see Richardson, sophomore from Duluth, Georgia, and an important player for this team. C.J. Fuller is the tail here for the Tigers. On the option, Bryant, no, stuffed. Wyatt Ray, number 11, and a cadre of Eagles that time, including Zach Allen, number 2, in there to stuff that. And the Tigers are going to have to bring out the punt team.
I really think that was an important drive, and Clemson took that over with 5:25 left when BC elected to punt. And they kept field position, and Clemson was not able to convert right there. It was an option, just a speed option, where outside of the quarterback Kelly Bryant was C.J. Fuller, but it was well defended, not only on the quarterback, but also the pitchman C.J. Fuller.
Well, this doesn't look like at all the same BC defense that got hit for 611 yards a week ago by the Irish. Catch made by Walker, 25. Walker tripped at the 29-yard line. Still a respectable 6-yard pickup. ABC tonight, Big Ten battle. A couple of undefeated teams. It'll be Saquon Barkley, Trace McSorley, and number 4 Penn State taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes at Kinnick. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Again, a little bit earlier than usual. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Also streaming live, of course, on the ESPN app. And we want to give you this week's AP rankings brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Alabama off early, as Chris mentioned to you. TCU ahead of Oklahoma State, 20-7. Michigan and Purdue. We thought that game might be tough, and Ohio State had a victory today in Columbus. USC Cal at 10-10 also. Brown on the run, gets it out, complete. Out of bounds at the 37-yard line for a gain of 8. Stop made by Mullen. Jeff Smith with the grab.
And BC just has to do enough of that offensively where you change the launch point, get the quarterback outside, and make a very quick throw and a quick decision, and Brown did right there.
He's 5 of 12 for 55 yards. Pressure coming in up the middle. Brown hangs in, throws across the middle, and that's a first down just shy of midfield. Solid catch in traffic. And it's Jeff Smith once again, 2 catches in a row for him.
Oh, that window was tight. There was at least 3 defenders on the one route. It was kind of a slant route, but Jeff Smith went into the second window, and Anthony Brown stuck with him and stuck the ball in.
10-yard gain, clock running. BC has 2 timeouts remaining. Brown, he's going to take a deep shot here and just overthrew Kobe White, a redshirt freshman, number 9, who was double covered but did have a step on the defender. It'll be 2nd and 10.
An offensive coordinator, Scott Loeffler, told us that against most teams you have about 10 to 12 opportunities to get vertical plays. It's about half that much against Clemson defensively. And that was one of the missed opportunities right there that BC has to hit today to have a chance.
They're going to roll him left again. He's in trouble. And down he goes, the ball's out. Recovered by BC at the 47-yard line.
I guess they're going to call this a pass. Anthony Brown gets rid of it late, but it actually, to me, almost looked like a pitch going forward, like a shovel pass. So that's a good play.
Yep, you're right. That is.
There was a receiver in the area, so it's not intentional grounding.
They have the ball at the 47-yard line.
30-second timeout.
And it was Cleveland Farrell, number 99, who beat his blocker and was able to hit Brown. Let's check in with more from the field and Chris.
This is a perfect example of what Adazio was telling Brown this week. There is such a fine line between having to be patient but not too hesitant like you saw there. He said, I have to teach him how to do critical thinking in moments like this against Clemson's defense.
Yeah, and Chris, what happened is that particular play broke down. Got outside the pocket, nothing was there, and that's when that voice in the back of your head as a quarterback says, throw the ball away. And he almost got himself into harm's way right there. They were fortunate that was called a forward pass and not a fumble.
No, it was called a fumble because the ball's at the 47-yard line where it was recovered by Hilleman.
I think they're going to take a look at this, and I don't think it was a fumble. I think he got rid of it more like a shovel pass, which is completely legal. And there was a receiver in the area, so it couldn't be intentional grounding.
I think you're right when we saw that two-handed shovel. But the initial ruling is a fumble and a recovery by Hilleman. Here's the play again, and you'll see the ball has
That's a bad call if that's called a fumble.
Yeah.
That's a forward pass to number 32, Hilleman. Completely legal. I don't necessarily agree with holding the ball to get yourself in that position to begin with. But Anthony Brown does the right thing in the end, Dave. That's not a fumble.
He sets himself up for that other hit, too, by not getting rid of the ball. Jabril Robinson, number 50, added to the punishment he's receiving. So the replay official is Andrew Panucci, and he is determining whether this is indeed a forward pass, as it appears to be to us, or if it's going to be a fumble, which is the ruling on the field. At the moment, the ball was marked at the BC 47-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 12.
And I didn't see anything in what we just witnessed to end up calling that a fumble. I would think this has to be overturned. You can throw the ball forward two-handed if you so well desire, and that's what Anthony Brown did right there. And then you have an eligible receiver in the area, which was John Hilleman in this case. So I think all of those things are going to mean that this call should be overturned. which in the end, what was the loss of?
It's a 2-yard loss.
2-yard
so the ball
loss.
would move to the 49-yard line. And it would be 3rd down and 10.
Which against Brent Venables' defense, you're no more comfortable in 3rd and 10 than you are in 3rd and 12. So I don't know that it matters a ton, but just for our sake, in reviewing the replay process, I think this should be overturned.
We're going to find out right now.
After review, the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. The ball will be brought back to the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Please reset the game clock to 1:26.
So you're going to gain an additional 9 seconds because there was the scramble for the football after it was ruled a fumble.
Well done. Well done by the officials. The replay booth got it right. It gained BC 2 yards offensively and gained this game 9 more seconds. And I think if you're BC, you want to be very careful right here. You know that you're going to get pressure from Brent Venables on 3rd and 10. You do not want to gift Clemson something they haven't earned in this game. Coming into this game, if you said we're down by 7 at halftime and Death Valley on the road when our offense has done nothing, I think we would have taken that, right, if we were BC people.
Yeah, I agree completely. They have not turned the ball over yet, but they are 1 out of 7 on 3rd down. And we have a couple of officials speaking at the 38-yard line, sparking that round of booing. And now Riley Johnson, we may have had a timeout called here because Riley Johnson, the referee, also went over to the center judge, although he has not announced a timeout yet.
So Steve Adazio might have called a timeout after the replay series played out.
Well, the only thing is we obviously have a stoppage in play, but the referee has not indicated which team has called a timeout. Maybe they haven't. This is almost like a basketball game, Kelly. Whenever there's a break in the action, everybody runs over to their benches, and the referees start blowing their whistles and get back out here. And I think that's exactly what happened here. No one called a timeout, apparently.
And right now the officials can't decide. And Adazio is going to get a 15-yard unsportsmanlike.
Yeah,
he's lighting the officials up on the
Unsportsmanlike
sideline.
conduct.
Yep.
Boston College, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
He might have a legitimate argument, but he really hurt his team with that penalty.
And he gets another one, and he's gone.
And right now, one of the officials is sort of trying to keep him back. He is directing his ire at the referee.
Yeah, I would not like the job right now of trying to keep Steve Adazio back. But the officials are trying to do that. But I don't know that it matters a whole lot. I think the punter, Mike Knoll, has had himself a fantastic day if they indeed have to punt, but they're going to try to pick it up here on 3rd and long, being ultra conservative, I would imagine.
Now Clemson rushes only 4. Brown's got some room if he wants to run. He's going to go deep instead, and it's picked off at the 22-yard line. The interception made by Trayvon Mullen. Now, I'll tell you why I said I thought he hurt his team with that penalty, but it's just because of field position.
Yeah.
I mean, he may have a very legitimate complaint, but I think that was just the wrong time to wander out on the field and draw that flag. Now, you could also say, well, that's as good as a punt, but it isn't.
It isn't what Mike Knoll has been playing today. The average starting field position before this spot right here for Clemson has been the 13-yard line.
This might be their best starting field position of the day. At the 21, off the top of my head, I think it is.
And Steve Adazio needs to watch himself on the sideline, because if you get number 2, you're taking a shower early in this one.
That's Mullen's first career interception, and Clemson comes out firing with Renfro. And don't forget, the Tigers have all 3 timeouts. The clock will stop temporarily at the 37-yard line, and you still have plenty of time if you're Clemson. That's a 16-yard gain. Bryant, he's got a lot of room to run here. He'll get to the marker easily, and he'll get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Bryant does a great job of recognizing man-to-man on the back end, a single high safety that's called one free, single high safety in deep middle, and then you have man-to-man underneath. And when the quarterback breaks that contained, he has some daylight, and he's 12 rushes on the day for 86 yards already. A natural runner of the football.
And the only touchdown so far in this game. Smack at the Tiger Paw at the 50-yard line. Bryant. And he got hit that time. Are they calling that an incomplete pass or a fumble? They started blowing whistles. The ruling.
I think that's a good call. I think that the sack forced the ball out, and Bryant was trying to get rid of this ball, but instead he spikes it right into the ground. But the ball is in the hand as the arm is coming forward. I think that's a good call on the field.
That was Kevin Bletzer, the junior linebacker, who came in and hit him. 2nd down and 10. Clemson still has their 3 timeouts. Pressure coming in again. Bryant one-on-one overthrown the 15-yard line, trying to get it to Kane. 3rd down and 10.
And BC is not opposed to challenging this group of receivers at the line of scrimmage. Cam Moore, number 5, one of the team captains that is not hurt for BC.
The only one.
Press man outside on the speed guy, Deion Kane, playing that Mike Williams position out wide and covered him like a blanket.
Well, they're taking 3 deep shots in this half, and they have not hit one yet. Renfro, 45, hit immediately. What a great tackle in space by Yaidam, who's had a terrific game for BC. That's a 5-yard pickup.
If you're Clemson right here, I'm not exactly sure why they're not using a timeout.
Well, they might be deciding just to burn the clock down to the very end and punt it.
Why?
Well, it's 4th down and 6. Or you'd snap it to the very end and go ahead and go for it on 4th down, and if you make it, maybe you get a touchdown. Bryant. Oh, look out here. He's sacked. Man, that Boston College front 4. Clock stopped.
Interesting.
With 4 seconds to go. It was Bletzer and Schwab coming in. The linebackers bring in the pressure. The front 4 also putting the pressure on the Clemson offensive line.
And I think what Clemson was going to do is, without stopping the clock, they were just going to throw it deep into the end zone.
So Boston College will take a timeout. So they have the opportunity to lob one into the end zone.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Clemson just gave BC, is the opportunity, because of this sack, to throw one into the end zone. And we know that the bounce of the ball, anything can happen. So I'm not sure what the thought was there. I think it was supposed to, don't take a sack on a Hail Mary if that's what you want to tell your quarterback. But I'm not exactly sure about that clock management.
My thought was run it down to, I think if you'd run it down to 2 seconds and call the timeout, so it looked like BC wasn't going to do that. You call your timeout and then you punt it, and everybody goes in the dressing room.
If you're going to punt it.
So Brown setting himself up. Everything's going to be short of the end zone, and it's going to be Jay Cutler-esque as it goes several yards out of bounds, as Cutler did last weekend. Let's take you to the Dave and Buster's halftime report with our score. Clemson 7-0 over Boston College. Chris Conner will be with you right after this break. You're watching the ACC on ESPN from Memorial Stadium on the Clemson University campus. It's a low-scoring, defensive, hard-hitting battle with the Tigers in front of Boston College. The team that came in here 1-2, while Clemson is ranked number 2 in the country, 7-0. Beautiful day in Death Valley. And Kelly, defensively, Boston College is not intimidated by this environment. They're not intimidated by Kelly Bryant or by anything so far.
And I think, Dave, the main thing is Boston College had to play a certain way to have a chance coming into this, and it was start with your defense, don't screw it up offensively, and don't penalize yourself. The only penalty for Boston College has been on their head coach.
Right.
So far, so good. They're doing so many things right, but their offense has to finish. And you can see right there, third down is the thing. They've had the starting position. They've won the field position game. You have to finish drives, extend drives. If you're BC offensively, and they just haven't been able to do that. And oh, by the way, that's been the theme the entire year for this team.
That's our game track for today, brought to you by Cabela's. Clemson will get the ball to start the third quarter. And they'll get it at the 25-yard line. As you saw, that actually would have been a 65-yard field goal. It hit the crossbar and went through. Now let's check in with Chris Budden on the field.
The quote was, "We're getting our tails whooped." That was Dabo Swinney's message to me at halftime. He said, it's not one thing in particular. We're just not playing well on offense. Had to go in there at halftime and fix some things. And Kelly, I think you were listening to my conversation with Steve Addazio because you mentioned everything. Got to finish drives, got to keep hitting them, and got to figure out a way to convert on third downs. He said, otherwise, I'm pleased with the energy, but just got to keep hitting them.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I did listen, but I was thinking those things because that's exactly who BC is as a program.
And that identity has been going on for decades.
Exactly. That's who Steve Addazio is. They're going to play lights out defensively, be the toughest guy on the block, and then offensively you play a certain way. It's power. In this case, with Scott Loeffler, it's power up tempo, but don't screw it up and let your defense put your offense in a good position.
So on 2nd and 6, Feaster carried the first time. This is Bryant breaking through to the next level, but he's going to be hit hard. And he has taken several hard hits today from this Eagles defense. He gains 5 more. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
And Dave, harken back to about 7.5 minutes into the third quarter last week, BC against Notre Dame. That's when the snowball started to roll down the hill, particularly with the quarterback running the football. Watch this drive right here.
And you can see the combination of the 2 uniform piles moving across the 35 to the first down at the 36-yard line. BC hurt themselves offensively, too, with some critical turnovers. Notre Dame was able to take advantage of that and put up some obscene numbers, 611 total yards.
Yeah, all of what we saw in the first half did not happen in the second half last week against Notre Dame. The offense turned it over, and the defense got out of position and got gashed.
Bryant, Kane, neat little pattern, and Moore with a great open field tackle. If he doesn't get Kane there, Kane is still running. It's a 9-yard pickup, 2nd down and a yard.
Clemson offensively didn't play well early in that first half, well enough in order to go up tempo, but now they're going more tempo, and this is really who Clemson wants to be against BC defensively.
They have changed the spot and marked it as a 1st down at the 46-yard line. Feaster again to midfield, right there at the paw. Gain of 4. Schwab, number 10, among the tacklers there for BC, along with Will Harris.
And this is a great team game, and so the defense has to work in unison with the offense and vice versa. Well, what happens a lot with BC right now is their offense doesn't do much, and their defense gets worn down. About midway through this quarter, we'll see if they can sustain things here.
It is an 80-plus degree day in Clemson, South Carolina. Short gain on that pass out of the backfield there, but still going to be 3rd down and about 2 yards to go here for the Tigers. The catch made by the tight end Richard. And Dennis with another tackle. They've gotten some good performances, Boston College, today out of their secondary.
And what Boston College needs to do is they need to certainly come up with a takeaway to put their own offense in great field position, but it's hard to do that when you end up letting the offense for Clemson kind of grind it down to 3rd and 1, just like they did before, and then they move the sticks.
Dennis already has 10 tackles on this game for the Eagles secondary, straight up the gut and short of the 1st down, setting up an interesting decision here. Let's make sure it's short. One official has it at the 45. Another official coming in on the near side has it closer to the marker. But you could be looking at 4th and very short.
And I think Dabo Swinney is already saying we're going for it. Maverick Morris, another offensive lineman, comes in. I think they're going to beef up and potentially go for it after this spot, after this measurement, if they don't get it.
Clock stopped at 11:56. The referee wants to make sure on this spot and decide whether it's a 1st down or not.
You know, bring your own guts. Time might be right here for Dabo Swinney when he got on his team, especially offensively in the locker room. If they don't get this, he may say it's time to saddle up and get 6 inches.
That's about what they need.
Can you not get a quarterback sneak 6 inches when you have a 6'4", 220-pound quarterback? But you have to bring him under center, which Clemson does not do a lot.
They've tried fourth down once today and did not convert. And it doesn't appear he's going to go under center. They do bring in the speedster, Travis Etienne, number 9.
The old days. Just lurch ahead as a big quarterback and you can pick up 6 inches, half a yard just by falling down right.
Everybody bunched up in the box on this one. 2 receivers, 1 left, 1 right. It's Etienne, and he'll burst in for the first down at the 43-yard line. He went with a smaller back at 5'10", 200, but very fast, and he gets the first down.
And that 94-yard scoring drive in the first half for Clemson, Etienne was center of attention in that quarterback read scheme. You have the big quarterback in Bryant keeping it in the speedster with Etienne potentially inside or outside.
50th play for the Tigers coming up. Etienne gets off a block. Throw for Renfro's picked off his hand. The interception by Lucas Dennis, his 3rd this season. 2nd interception thrown today by Bryant. And Boston College's defense comes up with another big play.
I'm not really all that upset about the decision. It just wasn't very well thrown. You can see Renfro was trying to throttle it down a little bit and not leak out into that defender outside. Dennis, the safety, was over the top. That really didn't matter until the ball was tipped. So you have to recognize that out of your receiver. Throttling down before he runs into that next defender, just put the ball on him. That was an errant pass by Bryant.
So they mark him at the 34-yard line. Boston College's first offensive slate of plays. It starts with no gain for A.J. Dillon.
And Dave, this is where the challenge is, right? This BC offense has to do something and ultimately get points. They were down there before on the last interception in the first half, and then they pushed a field goal attempt that should have been 3 points. But their offense has to get something going.
They run the jet sweep this time. Thad Smith, Clemson eats this alive. Smith is very fortunate. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. The last player to hit him was O'Daniel, number 6, but that time that play was ruined by Van Smith, number 23.
What do you have down as a point about Thad Smith? He's a jet sweep guy, right?
Yeah.
So when he goes in motion, you can see the Clemson defense expand. And that's exactly what they did there and got him for a loss.
Are they rushing only 3 or are they bringing some heat? They do bring some heat. 1-on-1. Caught inside the 35-yard line. Biggest play of the day offensively, and Jeff Smith makes it. You've said it, Kelly, in the run-up to this game. You will get chances against Clemson.
And that was a pretty tight pocket. Trayvon Mullen was out there covering Smith, and that was an extremely well-thrown ball by Anthony Brown. Those are the kind of opportunities you have to get your share of today.
33-yard gain. Out in space. It's a little high, and that play is crushed. The catch was made by Michael Walker, and he was hit by Tanner Muse almost immediately. That's going to be a loss.
Go back to that last play, and it's pressure inside was well picked up, but it's press man outside. And Smith gets over the top, number 6 of Mullen, number 1, and that's well executed. Take advantage of those opportunities if you're BC.
That's 2nd down and 14 following that fine play by Tanner Muse. Now they'll run it. Gilliman gets a yard back. He'll set up 3rd down and 13. Kendall Joseph moving up, number 34, to make a stop for Clemson.
Well, the margin for success is so razor thin when you play Brent Venables' defense. And we saw on that last play, it took a perfect throw and really decent coverage with them bringing extra guys that you had to pick up. And here we go again at 3rd and 13.
Brown on the run, missed, overthrew Walker, and Brown took a tumble after that one, or I should say was helped to take a tumble. So 4th down and 13, 8:46 to go, and we're likely to see Mike Knoll.
You mispronounced his name. It's MVP Mike Knoll.
Yes. Well, here's an interesting story because he was their place kicker last year.
I was there.
Led the ACC in percentage. You were in Ireland when Colton Lichtenberg lost his job.
Got the hook. And no one in.
So today he's had 4 punts inside the 10, the 3, the 6, the 8, and the 9, which are also tonight's lottery numbers. And now that's going to be about the 4, maybe the 5.
It's a front seat on the way home.
No for Heisman. Cowboys in the desert taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's at 6 Eastern on ESPN. Also available in Spanish on ESPN2. A little shaky outing for the Cowboys on Sunday against Denver.
Shaky?
The Cardinals have been struggling.
They got taken out behind the woodshed and beat with a stick. Look at the drive chart right there. That's why Clemson hasn't done anything. Good defense. You don't want to start in a hole. Mike Noll for Heisman is what we're saying, the BC punter.
Well, this time they're starting from the 6, which I think we would both agree is a hole. After a 2-yard gain, let's check in with Chris Cotter in studio.
Uh-oh.
All right, thank you, Chris. Very little, and I hear a little rumbling.
I just heard that.
Yep, amongst the very faithful Tiger fans, as Feaster is chopped down to the 10-yard line by Bledsoe, who's had a nice game with the strong side linebackers. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, 2 relatively conservative-looking runs to start this backed-up drive, but I think Coach Sweeney understands you can't screw it up right here, backed up in the shadows of your own goalpost.
Only one play of 20-plus yards so far for the Tigers this afternoon. Bryant is going to have to, look out here, and he cannot avoid the grip of number 10, Ty Schwab. So that's a sack, and BC should get, again, excellent field position after this. 96th in FBS. Not today.
Well, at some point in time, we need to go back and show this stats off that Notre Dame game. There were like 78 plays, and for 71 of them, they played great defense. For 7 of them, they spit the bit for about 329 yards or some insane number.
And Walker around right in the middle of the paw, midfield. That's a good kick by Spires. Walker's got to gain room, though. Walker to the 50. Walker in traffic, spinning and fighting for additional yards. 36-yard line. Made at the Tigers following a great return by Walker of 26 yards.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the all-new Mazda CX-5. Driving matters.
So here's what we were talking about beforehand. Very simple in chart form. 78 plays Notre Dame ran, 611 yards. But as Kelly mentioned, for 71 plays, that's fantastic defense. And
for
then
7, it's not. And it's about this time in the game where that 7 stuff started. We'll see if BC can finish, but their offense needs to get something done.
From the 37-yard line, a pressure coming in from the corner. No chance on that play. No gain on the play.
And Dave, this is the 3rd time that BC has started in Clemson territory, and they still have the big old goose egg on the scoreboard. That's not good.
The average drive start so favors Boston College, it's comical. Straight ahead, this is Dillon, and he's going to get 2. It'll be 3rd down and 8. And again, expect something exotic from Clemson. In the meantime, let's get to the field. And Chris.
Well, Dave, for a team that has yet to find the end zone, it's about as positive of a sideline as you'll find for this BC offense. I was watching them that last series. They were hooping and hollering, and Anthony Brown came over. He said, let's keep this tempo up. Let's keep hitting them in the mouth. We just got to be in this thing in the 4th quarter.
Well, they are, but they're also 2 out of 10 on 3rd down. Brown, short drop, has time there. Goes underneath. Sweeney fighting and fighting, and may have given him a shot at a field goal, if nothing else. as he gets to the 29-yard line. He's going to be short by a couple.
That extra effort, Dave, has Steve Adazio saying, you know what? Now's as good a time as any. Let's go for it on 4th and about 2 yards.
And you are right. Colton Lichtenberg stays on the sidelines. It's 4th and 2. Brown throws wide open on the wheel route. Catch is made. The 19-yard line by John Hilleman, and it's a first down for Boston College.
And this was a great adjustment because initially this was not going to be a wheel route. It was well covered by Trayvon Mullen outside, and Hilleman just made an adjustment. His quarterback was on the same page, and they threw it over top of the defender Mullen.
From the 18-yard line. Best penetration so far for the Eagles today. They get stopped at the 17 after Dillon and a 1-yard gain.
Hilleman initially was running to the flat, Dave, and then he turned it up. I don't know that initially it was going to be a wheel route. I think it was more of a swing kind of into the flat. It was well defended by Mullen, but Mullen didn't finish as well as Hilleman and the quarterback Anthony Brown did.
Brown quickly throwing catch at the 15. That's Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Mullen on the coverage. That's a gain of 5.
There's an uncomfortable feeling in this stadium currently.
And it doesn't happen often here, regardless of the opponent. So here's a giant 3rd down and 5.
And BC still has to finish, and they can't finish with 3. They need to finish in the end zone.
Dillon's got some room to the 5. Dillon inside the 5. And he stopped a little short of the goal line. 1st and goal for the Eagles.
Really nice play call by Scott Loeffler, the offensive play caller for BC. I think it caught Clemson off guard defensively. 3rd and 5 has been a pass down up to this point in time in the game, and it was a power run play on that time and well blocked by Boston College.
Like Clemson just looks disorganized here. They finally scramble a player on just in time to avoid not having enough bodies. And we're waiting for this whole thing to unpile. Is he in? Yes! It's 7-6. Rare disorganization that time from Clemson leading up to that play.
And Dabo Swinney was sprinting down the sideline trying to get a timeout. And you can see the extra effort by A.J. Dillon. And remember, he's 240 pounds. And this is going to be looked at, I think, further. I don't know that play will be stopped or not, but it's always looked at in the replay booth. Yeah, I thought that would happen, but A.J. Dillon is a great story. Highly recruited. Had committed to Michigan. The size, he's learning to run with his pad level, and at 6 foot 240, that's a drive finisher right there. And he, I believe, gets that into the end zone. Do you see anything there that could potentially overturn this?
I think the goal line shot's always the most telling one.
Ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Yeah, that was pretty quick, and I agree with it. I don't think there was. I don't blame him. Take a few extra seconds. That's fine. It's an important play. Capping off an 8-play, 37-yard drive in 3:05. Going forward on 4th down pays off for Boston College on the throw to Hilleman. And now Lichtenberg on for the PAT.
I love the speed of the replay, by the way. We don't have to take 30 seconds on a replay like that. See it, say yes, and go with it.
There should be a 2-minute limit on all replays anyhow. How about this? Imagine people watching something else, perhaps on the ESPN app, and all of a sudden they get a score alert. 7-7 with 3:30 to go in the 3rd quarter with the number 2 team in the country and the defending national champions in a suddenly and unusually quiet Memorial Stadium. Together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has donated millions in scholarship funds. Shadows now beginning to take over the stadium here in Clemson, South Carolina, and folks are a little nervous. 7-all. Short kickoff. Etienne at the 3. He has the ability to change this game. But Boston College wraps him up at about the 28-yard line. All right, so Kelly Bryant a week ago, Kelly Stauffer was brilliant in Louisville. everyone talked about his breakout game. Now he's home. It's 7-7 with 3:23 to go against a team you are supposed to beat by a lot.
Yeah, and Kelly Bryant has been efficient today. Only 82 yards passing. He's rushed for close to 100. And right now it's about good decision making, which by and large he has, but his ball placement hasn't been great. 2 tip passes resulting in interceptions, and the last one ending up going for a touchdown in terms of the drive that ensued. So that's where we're at.
And he'll get nothing on that option. ETN is in there, number 9. Now the tailback position, one of 4 tailbacks that the Tigers have used today. I hear booing in the crowd, which I cannot believe.
Full-blown discomfort right now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's the run game, but it's not that a run is a bad call. It's just that you're not blocking very well. As Dabo Swinney told Chris going into halftime, they whooped us in the first half, and they've whooped them here in the second half too.
They run jet sweep this time with ETN trying to get him outside. He'll get to the 31-yard line to pick up 3.
This is the money down.
Yeah.
This is the money down. 3rd in a passing situation against a defense that knows how to play well. There's some exotic blitz stuff going on. Jim Reed is the new defensive coordinator. Don Brown was there before and did all of that exotic stuff. And Jim Reed is doing more of it. And you're probably going to see some of it right here.
1 out of 3 third downs in this half. And the Tigers have just 38 total yards in this quarter. And a hit. Waiting to see if this is going to be ruled a fumble or an incompletion. More pressure from BC from Bletzer.
Yeah, Bletzer came on a stunt up inside. And I think this is going to be looked at to see if it's a fumble. Is the ball in the hand as the arm comes forward? And I think that is very close for sure.
Well, let's follow through all the way to see who falls on this ball, because that's critical. Regardless if it's ruled a fumble, you see Bletzer unblocked. The referee.
Ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under review.
All right, so there's the initial call. They're saying incomplete.
But you're right about who recovers it. And I think that might be a fumble. That ball didn't seem to be in the possession of the hand of Kelly Bryant when his hand started forward. I think it was already in the process of being dislodged. But you're right. The critical part is who recovers it. And in the immediate aftermath of the play, Ty Schaub is the one that recovered it. And that's exactly what has to happen.
So the ruling on that is, and you used the perfect words, immediate aftermath. You notice there were no whistles blown, no beanbags tossed down either. The officials conferred before that call was made by referee Riley Johnson. But if you can recover a loose ball immediately, it can be ruled a fumble. And it would be, if it's a fumble, around the 31-yard line. That is a tough one.
It is tough.
For me.
I don't know that there's a lot there to overturn it, which is paramount in this situation. There has to be indisputable video evidence to overturn how it was called on the field, and this was called an incomplete pass. And if you and I are having the discussion, typically the litmus test is, if we're having it, you're having it at home, the officials can't find that indisputable video evidence either, and so they will probably hear it stands as called on the field. That would be my interpretation right now.
Well, the booth is right next to us. We can't read lips through the glass. Where Andrew Panucci sits, he will make the call in concert with referee Riley Johnson, who's about to take off the headset. And there he goes. Here's a big call right here.
After view, the ruling on the field stands, incomplete pass. There was also illegal touching by the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So Clemson will trot out the punt team once again. Spires will come out. And by the way, Michael Walker has been a field changer for Boston College as a punt returner. He's had a very good game. He came in averaging 10 yards per return. He had one of 27 earlier. Another high snap, but no problem. Walker will call for a fair catch, this time at the 24-yard line. Well, let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. And back when things were going a little bit better for the defending national champions, Kelly Bryant was able to find a little bit of room in the Boston College defense.
Yeah, and remember, this was a 94-yard scoring drive. And then you see the two tip passes that stalled drives, and BC finally pays off into the end zone. But the field position has been poor for Clemson all game long, and it finally paid off on one scoring drive for BC.
They go to the ground. They go to Dillon, a 6-footer, 240-pound back, battering for about 4 yards, it looks like. So second down and 6 will come up. We're under 2 minutes in this third quarter. Very cleanly played game as far as officiating goes. Hardly any penalties.
And that first down power run, Dave, is gone from 1 or 2 yards to being 4 yards like this. That's a very successful first down run if you're Boston College.
Dillon, this time he's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's go down to the field and Chris Budden.
Anthony Brown getting some extra coaching from the sidelines before that last touchdown drive. He looked at the stands to his dad, and his dad told him, stay patient and hold the ball a couple seconds before you throw it.
Brown on 3rd and 5. That's short. Did not make the first down. Hilleman, as Clemson's defense closed quickly. Ryan Carter, the graduate defensive back, number 31, able to make that stop. It appears to be short. And it is at the 33-yard line by a yard. So the Tigers defense holds. The clock runs down to 40 seconds.
A great job by Ryan Carter, as you talked about. He's the corner, and he has size and speed, and he was in coverage in that transition from being in coverage to being a run defender. It was well designed with Hilleman coming out of the backfield as a free releaser. But Ryan Carter not only makes the tackle, he makes a tackle that prevents the yardage going forward.
Mike Knoll has 5 punts inside the 10 today. This one's got some wobble and won't make the 10. Renfro, that's a tough catch. The sun in his eyes. Renfro makes the grab at the 33-yard line. For Clemson, that's like finding $20 in your couch, because this is for them the greatest field position invented all day long today.
Oh, that's right in their sweet spot right here.
You know what, tonight at ABC, on ABC, we got a Big Ten one for you. Ed Kinnick, Iowa Hawkeyes, number 4 Penn State. Note the time is a little bit different. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. You've got Barkley, you've got McSorley, you can see Saquon Barkley and what he did versus Iowa a year ago.
Yeah, he's a beast, absolute beast.
This is the best starting field position for the Tigers today. Bryant, play action. They get it out to number 1, Travion Thompson, and Thompson very close to the first down. That will end the third quarter. The fourth quarter will contain a lot of suspense. We're actually down to 3 seconds. I take that back. Look, they're going to say that he was out of bounds. And now we are at the end of the quarter. Fourth quarter coming up. Can the defending national champions stave off an upset? Had 7 or fewer points since 2014, and they lost to Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Here they are, knotted with Boston College, who came in 1-2 after giving up 611 total yards a week ago at home to the Irish. They have surrendered only 269 here. Second down and about a yard to go for Kelly Bryant and the Clemson offense. He'll keep it. He'll be stuffed by Landry, who was not fooled on that. That's a loss back to the 40-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
And really a quarterback zone read that is isolating Harold Landry, number 7, and I think just the wrong decision. If the defensive end stays outside, you give it. And actually, it was supposed to be blocked by Richard, the tight end, coming across, and inexplicably he left Landry go. Unless he was taught to go to the second level, that was a busted assignment, but a great play by Harold Landry.
Landry did go inside and still got back outside. Well, where do you go when you have to have a big play? You go to Hunter Renfro, and it's a first down for the Tigers.
Defensively on 3rd and I need a play. I can't let number 13 off the line of scrimmage with room to do his thing. You have to get someone either in his face or over the top before he can just cleanly run his route.
3 receivers to the left. This will be Bryant patiently trying to work for some additional yardage. He'll get to the 48 for a 4-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And I'll tell you one thing I've noticed, Kelly, obviously I know you have, that Landry lines up sometimes on the left.
Yeah.
That play, he was lined at right end, and he's at right end here again. So moving him around, that causes problems. Quick throw, the slant. Kane catches 1st down. Tigers to the 42-yard line. You item on the tackle.
And those are the things that Kelly Bryant's going to have to prove that he can do. Throw into a tight window, just press man coverage outside on Kane. Kane beats his defender inside, and then you have to put it on his chest. And Kelly Bryant did it on that play.
Tailback C.J. Fuller gets through a hole. Well, the ball came out at the 31-yard line. And it remains with Clemson.
I think it was Richard, the big tight end, hustling downfield that got on this. Well blocked up inside, and it was another read play, and it was Richard, the big tight end, that got on that ball down the field.
Well, that's another play by Kevin Bletzer, the junior from Medfield, Mass, who knocked the football out. So big break for the Tigers. They've had 2 fumbles today. They have not lost either one of them. Adam Choice is the tailback. And this time Bryant will keep to get a yard, the 29-yard line. Fans are grumbling, but you know what? You've got the ball. You're going in the right direction. And you're trying to kill a little clock here.
Yeah, and fans want him to speed it up, but that was a design quarterback run. He had a personal protector kind of set as if you're going to pass the ball, and then you have a lead up, more of a kind of a lead draw type of situation. But the quarterback was always meant to run that football.
Empty backfield set here. 5 receivers in the pattern. Quick throw, catch, quick hit, broken up, incomplete. Man, you item.
Yeah, Yaida was in the flat on coverage, looking back inside because he's in a zone, and when the ball comes out, he breaks and blows it up. That's exactly the way you play that. Carry the receiver outside down the field, all the while being aware of what's going on behind you and inside, because you're in a zone, and Yaida breaks on and blows up Richard, the tight end.
You've got an untested field goal kicker this season, and Alex Spence. This would be a long kick for him. Choice is the tailback. Just enough time to go one-on-one down the field. The catch is inbounds. Did he get the foot down? The ruling on the field is yes. The catch made by DeAndre Overton at the 7-yard line. 1st down.
Overton is 6'5", matched up on Yaidam 6'1", and that left foot definitely comes down in bounds. That's a great call, and throw it up to the 6'5" receiver, and he essentially out-rebounds Yaidam, the smaller corner.
From the 7-yard line to the ground and to the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. Adam Choice gets his 3rd touchdown of the year.
Some really good things on that drive, obviously, for Clemson. You have a quarterback that has to prove it in moments like this. This is what made Deshaun Watson. When your team needs something to happen, you're the guy first in charge of making that happen. And Kelly Bryant was sharp on that drive, and then he had some receivers that went up and made plays for him, in particular Overton on the sideline.
10 plays, 67 yards in 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Don't forget also the 3rd down clutch catch by Hunter Renfro that kept this drive alive. But it was the sophomore Overton with a spectacular play to put it inside the 10, and then Choice finds the goal line, and the Tigers are back on top. Yards in 10 plays, and Adam Choice punching it in from 6 out. And the Tigers back in front, 14-7. On ABC tonight, we got a big Big Ten battle.
Kelly Bryant was 4 out of 5 on that last drive, and we talked about it. Deshaun Watson had a great 3-year stretch, but it was in moments like this where he made his name, where you have to rise to the top and get your team into the end zone in any way you can. Bryant was sharp, and he had playmakers around him that finished the job.
You have to deal with the sun here, and the catch made to the 2-yard line. The 20. And a big hit around the 25-yard line. That's where Boston College and Anthony Brown will take over. The game I was so excited to tell you about, I jumped the gun on, is coming up tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. You mentioned number 4 Penn State taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes at Kinnick Stadium. Saturday Night Football streaming live, of course, on the ESPN app. So if you're worried about missing the game if you're going out tonight, don't. Just take the phone.
Bryant was sharp on that last drive, 4 out of 5, and ultimately finished the drive, which is what he's out there to do.
And they'll do it the BC way, though. They'll try to do it on the ground. A.J. Dillon has been effective, and we have a Boston College lineman shaken up, and they can't afford that. Montero is down, number 67, Aaron Montero out of Brockton, Mass. And he is at the 25-yard line. There's a team that's already missing John Baker, who's out for the season, was their starting center, forcing a true freshman to move into the middle. BC cannot afford any more injuries anywhere.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by BMW. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine.
That's the NFL room. You see the success that former Tigers have had in the league. 255 all-time draft picks.
And right now, communication is going to be big. Ben Petrula, the true freshman center, Anthony Brown, the redshirt freshman quarterback, can't hear their own heartbeat. It's going to be tough for anyone else on the field to hear them. You have to probably go silent count right here.
Brown, short drop, way over the head of the intended receiver along the far sideline. 3rd down and 6 coming up. You thought it was loud last play. Get ready.
Oh, yeah. And Anthony Brown is actually under center more than Scott Loeffler typically wants, because Petrula, the true freshman center, isn't comfortable snapping the ball from shotgun. He's going to have to do it here in crazy noise.
Here comes some pressure. Brown has time, dumps it out into the flat. Tackle broken, and a first down has been achieved by Boston College on the extra effort by number 9, Kobe White.
Kobe White just simply takes the ball quickly on a now screen, and a missed tackle by number 19, Tanner Muse. The question is whether he stepped out of bounds, and I didn't think so on the looks we've seen thus far. I think that's great. What a tremendous yard after catch.
3 out of 6 third downs in this half for the Eagles after going 1 for 9 in the first half. They'll get to the 39 to 40-yard line here, a 3-yard pickup for John Hilleman, giving A.J. Dillon a break. Dillon's had a career high in rush attempts today. And as soon as I say that, he comes back for more, number 2. He'll get another carry. Gets cut down there by Mullen. And we have a Clemson player a little slow getting up. That's Kendall Joseph.
Trayvon Mullen is the one that made that tackle from his corner position, and this doesn't look good either. He hit the runner low, and I think got hit right in the top of the helmet.
Mullen was on the tackle. Joseph got up limping, but is trying to hang in there. But now we have Trayvon Mullen down, being attended to by the athletic training staff. Only walk off the field. 7 tackles and an interception today for the Fort Lauderdale native. 3rd down and 6 coming up with 10:33 to go in this very close game in the 4th quarter involving the defending national champions and Boston College. We're going to be 3rd down and 11.
Five-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Marcel Lazard, a graduate out of Bloomfield, New Jersey. They've lost their left tackle, Aaron Montero, who's now seen it on the other sideline on crutches on the far sideline. So a veteran, somebody they needed, made a mistake. Pressure on Brown. Can he escape from Bryant? He does. Throws. It's low, incomplete. Kelly, we measured, I don't know who has the device. Maybe you've got it. The noise at 102 decibels, which is about the equivalent of having a jet fly over at 1,000 feet.
And no, I don't have that device, but I do know this, that Austin Bryant got off the edge in a quick as a hiccup, and the 81,500 here sent it from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 11, and it allowed Brent Venables to tee off and chase Anthony Brown out of the pocket, and the result was an errant pass. That was our Mr. Everything, Dave Dobson, who had that. This is just racked, this punt. Ray back to the 12, makes one man miss, makes another miss, but he can't make them all miss, and he goes back to the 10-yard line. All right, let's take a look at tonight's hardest working player, brought to you by Duluth. This is a tough one to figure out, but we're going to award this to Lucas Dennis, the junior from Everett, Mass. The former quarterback, now a safety. Yeah, and he's a safety that has obviously cover speed, but that's run support up from his safety position and then opportunistic on the tip pass, and that's exactly what BC needed defensively, is that kind of an effort out of a hard worker like Lucas Dennis. Well, they're going to need more. Try to get the ball back. Yeah, they could afford to have their defense actually just take the ball away again right here. Adam Choice, who scored the touchdown as the tailback. He gets through a good hole before another stop by Kevin Bledsoe at the 15-yard line. But that's a solid 5-yard pickup for the Tigers. And if you're BC, obviously the rules of the road are the same. We have to force Clemson into a pass down where we can dial up a little bit and force a quicker throw than Kelly Bryant wants to throw. The Tigers have 205 yards on the ground. Bryant, straight ahead draw, trying to feel his way to a first down, and he's done it. Dave, you have to hearken back to 2015 when Deshaun Watson was a sophomore. When he rushed for over 1,000 yards, we saw a lot more of that right there. A lot of the quarterback zone read, but also some quarterback design power stuff. And that's what you see out of Kelly Bryant. They're getting after it. 20 carries today for 92 yards and 1 touchdown. This time he'll hand it off. Choice will be flung to the turf by Harold Landry, who has done nothing to damage his NFL draft stock today. He's been really entertaining to watch. Yeah, and he's actually, I think, proved that he can defend the run really well. We've seen that today. So you know he can get after and run the rail and get after the quarterback, and so you can affect the passer at the next level and get paid a ton. But if you can stay on the field for 3 downs, going to be short of the first down there. Sets up a big 3rd down and 2, and you have to wonder if the call here is going to be Bryant on the carry. Yeah, I think it might be one of those run-pass option type things, and you hope that Kelly Bryant can make the right decision. Run-pass option post-snap based on reading one defender, and you try to make that defender wrong. And Kelly Bryant may have to do it right here. They need to get to the 31-yard line. Feaster is back in at the tailback, number 28 in orange. And it will be Feaster, and that whole pile moves for a first down at the 32-yard line. And so Clemson's playing like Boston College right now. They are. That was a great push, like you said. And we talk so much about Clemson and their skill position and Deshaun Watson and Mike Williams and Artavius Scott and all of those guys, but really it's been the consistency on the offensive line of scrimmage during this incredible run that Clemson's been on, resulting in the national championship a year ago. 5 straight rushes on this drive. Make it 6. Bryant. And he's carrying tacklers, and begin to wonder about fatigue setting in on the Eagle defense. Bledsoe with yet another tackle, but it looks like he's got 10 and a first down. Let's see where they finally put the ball down. I think that defense front in particular is just getting worn down. 102 yards after that carry right there is a career high. But that's what you're going to see out of Clemson with the quarterback running the ball. He's 6'4", 220. Between the tackles is certainly on the table in a game plan.
They do need a yard. They got it and more to the 46-yard line. Meantime, chewing pieces of the clock. Stop for the moment at 6:54 to go in this game.
Yeah, Clemson not in a hurry until Boston College can force some type of negative play to get Clemson behind the chains. You're going to see a very deliberate draining of the bucket right here.
More time to the ground, to the 50-yard line. They go to the redshirt junior Adam Choice. Let's go down to the field and Chris Button.
Notice when watching this Clemson sideline is how businesslike they are. They never get too high. They never get too low. Even after they scored a couple minutes ago, they were cheering, but it was never overly excited. The entire game have really kind of had the same demeanor, whether they were up or down.
Well, they've been tested in some pretty high-level games and some pretty high-level stakes. ETN comes in, number 9. Ball on the paw. ETN, 45. If he breaks the tackle, 40. ETN, he could go. You can't catch him. They have freed Travis. Touchdown, Clemson.
The true freshman out of Jennings, Louisiana, brings this to the table. If he can get to the second level, you're going to have a really, really hard time catching him. And yes, indeed, Dave, I think they freed Travis. And Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator, one of the co-coordinators, told us yesterday he maybe hasn't been doing a great job of coaching by not getting more touches to that guy in the right situations.
Every play on the ground, Kelly, 90 yards, 9 plays in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Nothing fancy. 4 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock, and it's going to be a tall order for BC. This guy is so fast. Instead of a football, he ought to be carrying a track baton. Could have been in Baton Rouge. Instead he winds
colors,
up,
yeah.
yes, a little bit. Well, they're still purple. They just match it differently. But instead, he has come onto the scene here at Clemson, has become a folk hero with that speed. He had a big run at the end of the game against Louisville and iced things. And here, he may have iced things with that 50-yarder. From the 3, Michael Walker did a nice job in the return game today. And he'll get out to the 24-yard line. Let's return to the studio and Chris Cotter. Chris, thank you very much. 5:34 for BC to do something, and that's not a good start. Second down and 10. Brown a little high. The intended receiver is Michael Walker.
And Brown has actually played quite well, I believe, in this second half. But the thing that BC lacks offensively is the guy that can threaten the top of the defense. The vertical guy that can make things happen down the field, and so you can grind it all you want. They've averaged more than 90 plays coming into this game, but they haven't finished well, and they haven't finished well against this tremendous Clemson defense today either.
Brown winds and fires. It's at the 30-yard line. That's going to be well short of the first down. Catch made by Jeff Smith.
And those type of routes, Clemson, Brent Venables defensively will give to Anthony Brown right now.
The ruling there, I'm sorry, was incomplete. The pass was caught out of bounds. So it's 3rd down and 10. into traffic. That is not going to be even remotely close to a first down.
Defense 101, and I certainly think that BC has to punt right here, but defensive 101 is this: get pressure on my quarterback, force a throw before the receivers can get to the line of gain, make a sure tackle, and get Mike Knoll out there to punt once again. And that's exactly what Clemson did right there defensively.
Mike Knoll, this will be his 9th punt. He's averaged 41 yards. That may not sound great. You have to understand that out of those 8 punts, 5 have been inside the 10 and another one inside the 20. And he just cranked this. Ray McLeod from the 20 to the 25 to the 35. McLeod to midfield. Running out of room. Can he stay in bounds? He cannot. And of course, hashtag Knoll for Heisman. He makes the tackle. Well, it is time for our performance spotlight, brought to you by Dickies. All right, a week ago, here is the ETN run against Louisville, and he's gone. And you knew it 60 yards before we got to the end zone. Today, you knew it about 38 yards from the end zone.
And the important thing is he's fast, and we know that, but he's also breaking tackles to get to that second level. And you can see right there, 6 for 98, 5 for 72, a couple of touchdowns, and free Travis indeed.
So after the big run back by McLeod, great field position here for the Tigers, and they keep it on the ground with Tavian Feaster. And Feaster will get it to second down and about 4.
But Dave, there are reasons why Travis Etienne hasn't been in the game more. Clemson wants to protect with 6 guys, and the youngsters typically aren't very good pass protectors. And he hasn't been that great. He's learning it. You got to kind of, in the pass game, you have to ID the right guys. And then Timbo makes it hard as well because you can't substitute as freely. And so all of those things have added up to number 9 not being out there as much. But trust me, they will find ways more and more as this season plays out to get Travis Etienne on the field.
3rd down and 3. Little run pass option here. That's very well done by the Tigers. Inside the 10, down to the 5, down to the 4 is Cornell Powell, the sophomore from Greenville, North Carolina. 1st down after a 13-yard pickup.
In the little things like this right here, Kelly Bryant wants to get that play clock down to about 5, unless the intention is to just score and not care about it, which may exactly be what Clemson has on their mind right now.
No, we're just at the 3-minute mark here. To the end zone. Battle for it. Knocked down. Very well defended by Item, the senior from Worcester, Mass, who's been spectacular at the cornerback position today.
Yeah, Item was matched up on T. Higgins, another true freshman, 6'2", but very well defended. You can body him up. You can see the hands right there. Both guys are doing it, and then you have to go up at the high point and break the pocket. And Item did a great job right there.
2nd and goal, 4-yard line. Feaster the tailback. They fake the pitch. Bryant. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Tigers. And that may wrap this up.
This is a run designed to get Harold Bryant out of position a little bit. Fake the pitch outside. Bryant steps outside, and it gives just enough room for Kelly Bryant to sneak that one in the end zone.
At one point, this was a 7-7 game. In fact, at the end of the 3rd quarter, it was a 7-7 game. And you used the word, I'd say, Kelly, at least a half a dozen times about Boston College having to finish things, and they're just not able to do that. Of course, this is and the extra point is missed, so it remains 27-7. But 5-play, 24-yard drive set up by the 53-yard Ray McLeod punt return, and the number 2 Tigers can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Tonight after UCLA Stanford, we have Sports Center at night with Stan Verrett and Linda Cohn. We'll see all the best in today's college football activity, the Major League Baseball playoff races, and more. That's Sports Center at night, also streaming live on the ESPN app.
I think that's our camera crew jumping in the water there, is it not?
No, because the guy
I
caught
thought I
the
saw
ball.
Frankie right there.
Couldn't be our guys. One of them
High
caught
end
it.
zone Frankie.
You see the yards by quarter. A whopping 19 for Boston College. So
that
there's
fourth quarter.
Yeah, that movie line that coffee is for closers. And there's going to be a lot of coffee drunk in Clemson after this because they have indeed closed out this game. Let's head to the studio and Chris. All right, that's very cool. Thank you, sir. 7-7 at the 3:30 mark in the third quarter when Boston College tied the game. Clemson has put up 20 uninterrupted since then. And Darius Wade, the left-hander, is now in a quarterback for BC. He'll come out firing, and the catch is made down to about the 35-yard line. The fine tight end Tommy Sweeney on that grab. So you have a completely different look now with the Delaware native Wade.
Even throws from the opposite side.
2 yards short of the first down here on 2nd down and 2. Intercepted through behind the receiver. The interception made by A.J. Terrell.
Tommy Sweeney, the tight end, just sets down in that void in the zone, and then it's airmailed outside. Actually, it's Chris Garrison, a different tight end, and A.J. Terrell is there to take advantage of it. Another true freshman. You look around our spotting boards, and there are true freshmen littering, either true freshmen or redshirt freshmen. The talent pool is pretty deep here in Clemson, South Carolina.
And it just seems to be getting deeper. Zarek Cooper, the redshirt freshman from Jonesboro, Georgia, now in a quarterback for Clemson. He'll hand it off. And to the 35-yard line, that is Etienne. I tell you what, people saw that he was in and had the ball, and they got a little excited in this building.
He has speed, which we are well aware of, but he actually gets a pad level lower and delivers a blow like he did that time. Sometimes you have to create your own shot to get that speed released, and ETM acts like he can do just that.
He's going to try again. If he gets to the edge, it's over. And they corral him inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. That's an 18-yard pickup.
I think Tony Elliott might be happier this week with him as he's seems to be staying to the point of attack in a more disciplined manner. And then it's the speed that gets about 81.5 on their feet here in Death Valley.
Down to the 10-yard line with 1:22 and counting. Now, ETN may get a chance to find the end zone one more time here. Although if they get a first down on this play, they could just take a knee the rest of the way. ETN. Oh my goodness, look at that spin. He is so strong. Wow.
In Xbox, what is this? Like a joystick move or something?
I think it's one of those
right
buttons
there
on the bottom of the controller that you hit. 9 carries, 100.
Watch this. Right into your lap. You better wrap that guy up because you're not going to get a second chance. We've seen him break tackles. We see the little pirouette outside right there, and all of that is encased in like top level speed. 9 for 113 and a couple of touchdowns, and he has a long of 50.
He has more rushing yards than Boston College. BC has 87 rushing yards today. That is, in bowling, what you would call a guy with a high rev rate. All right? He has high rev rate.
Yes, indeed. And it's sudden. There is no building speed. It goes from 0 to instant. 9 for 113, all career highs, obviously. He's just, he's just had a prom a few months ago. Dave, can you catch this right here? ETN, Travis, free Travis. And then the finish. And every time 9 touches the ball, people come to their feet.
Yep.
They anticipate what this young man can do, and he's probably going to be doing it for at least the next 2 seasons here in Death Valley.
And still a work in progress, as Kelly mentioned, on a lot of things that are required for running backs at this level. But the running part of being a running back, he's fine.
You want to stay on the field a lot. You need to protect your quarterback, and he's figuring that part of it out.
Well, the last 4 times the Tigers have had the ball, they've found the end zone 4 times. A squibber here, and that ball is still alive, and Walker hustles up to try to catch it. He's got a lot of orange around him, and down he'll go at the 24-yard line. Extra Yard for Teachers Week is a week-long celebration of teachers led by the College Football Playoff Foundation through its Extra Yard for Teachers platform. Visit the College Football Playoff Foundation website at cfp-foundation.org to learn more about Extra Yard for Teachers Week and see how you can get involved. And here's Chris with more.
His favorite teacher, but then he just kept listing 1, 2, 3, 4. He could tell you every teacher he's had from kindergarten to 12th grade through college. That's how much they've had an impact. He's still in contact with them at his hometown.
And he gave us the list going back from 1st grade.
You got up to 6th grade.
And then he said, well, in high school you didn't have homerooms, and then, But
he started to name those too.
Yeah.
If we'd have had a little more time, he would have gotten through every one of them. But he's a gentleman, and he makes no bones about the people that have impacted his life. And you see it permeate this program at Clemson. It has Dabo Swinney written all over it, and it came from people like he talked to us about yesterday.
Final seconds of this one. It's hard to imagine at one point this was a 7-0 game at halftime and 7-7 at the end of 3 quarters. But the Tigers protect that number 2 ranking with 213 fourth quarter total yards while holding Boston College to 37. For Kelly Stauffer and Chris Budden and our entire crew, I'm Dave Lamont. We thank you for watching. Final score for the final time, 34-7, Clemson over BC. Let's head to College Football Scoreboard with Chris Cotter right now. Chris?